we bought a non-running, crash damaged Ford GT, of course, at a highly discounted rate. But once we got back down to San Diego, we found out that our frame was damaged and unrepairable. So we found a clean frame, we traded, plus some cash on top, and no parts. We then installed an authentic door and carbon fiber GT2 body kit, had the chassis painted and the carbon fiber clear coated. Now we have just a couple weeks left to get this thing finished and running before its debut on the world's largest stage, the 2025 SEMA show with our partners, the WD-40 brand. Let's get started. And I wanted to let you guys know that our new Ford GT shirt is live on the website. I'm wearing it right now, and it is available in limited quantities only at throtl.com. If you guys want to wear this thing to the SEMA show or to your local Cars and Coffee, you're going to want to swoop it up quick because they're almost gone. Now, let's make sure this motor is good before we toss it in.
Buying a crashed Ford GT is scary. Now, if we already know we need to completely rebuild the entire car, but the question is do we also need to rebuild the engine? This thing has been sitting since the early 2000s. This is the 5.4 liter twin cam supercharged V8 that was sitting in the engine bay of our GT when it was crashed. So does this thing need to be rebuilt? Today, we're gonna find out. Now that we got the plate off, not only can we see the dry sump belt, this is a very strange looking belt. I don't think I've ever seen a serpentine belt like this. This runs the dry sump pump, which is pretty cool, but it also gives us access to the crank pulley. So now we can put a socket in here and spin the engine by hand. This is the first test to see if the engine actually spins. Oh yeah. It does spin. I can feel some compression already. That's good. That's a great sign. Everything's moving. The blower spins. Look at that. That's great. Dry sump pump is spinning. Everything's rotating. Nothing's bound up or locked up. It's a really good start. Now with the coil packs out of the way, we're gonna go through, take each spark plug out one at a time and do a leak down test on this motor. This is gonna tell me the mechanical sealing ability of the engine. Plugs look pretty good. They're definitely old. Not crusty. Electrodes not bad. Let's get a little flashlight check in the cylinder. I can't see anything. There's a lot of carbon in there. Let's leak down test it. That's like 3 pounds of leak, 2 pounds of leak. That's really good. Cylinder 2 spark plug, a little bit wet. I don't know if that's oil. It's probably oil. Yeah, let's leak it down. There we go.
There she goes. She's climbing.
Bank 1 looks amazing. The highest leak percent we have is 5%. That is solid. That means this thing is really healthy. Let's check the other bank. She's dialed, brother. So now that we found out we have a completely compression healthy Ford GT engine, we're gonna start getting this thing ready to go back in the car. The first thing we're gonna do is actually pull off the valve covers because I wanna take a look at everything that's going on here. When this car was in a collision, one of the valve covers actually got punctured. So I wanna make sure that whatever is happening underneath the valve cover is okay. If we have a really damaged cam, a bad cam cap, or something in the chains is doing weird stuff, we wanna fix that and catch it right now. So we're gonna pull that off. I'm also gonna pull the filter housing off. This engine is really cool because it's dry sump. So we have a dry sump pump here, and unlike the Ferrari, this has an externally driven dry sump. So we're gonna pull the dry sump belt off. I have a new one, we're gonna replace all this stuff. But we're actually gonna fill this with engine oil and manually spin this pump, and I'm gonna oil prime this engine completely while it's on the ground, which is really cool. We're gonna spin it. I wanna see oil coming out of the cam caps, covering everything in engine oil. From there, we'll put the valve covers back on, we'll put all of our new belts back on, and this thing will be ready to drop in the car. So let's get started. First time taking the valve cover off, everything looks really good. This is very interesting though. They use a roller cam. So the little pivot arm in there is on a roller, which is kind of cool. Really nice. I've never seen the inside of one of these engines before, so this is pretty cool. All right, so everything under our valve covers looks really good. I've just taken our oil filter cap off, and what I'm gonna do is actually use Ricky's help now. We're gonna start oil priming this engine. The first place we're gonna see oil start coming out is the oil filter housing.
Hold on, stop. I need dude, it's about to pour out. Yeah.
Oh, no way. All right, sit. If we can get oil out of all the cam bearings today, we're silent.
Baby, we're gonna do it right now.
Dialed. So we've got oil coming out of the lifters, which is, I'm guessing, how they lubricate the cams on these because it just shoots it. But if you can look through, which hole is it, Ricky?
Right there.
Yeah, so the upper chain guide's getting lubricated. That's how the chain gets lubed. I think that's it, dude. I think we're dialed.
Cool.
So I think we're gonna put the valve covers back on it with the new gaskets, replace the belts, and this thing's ready to go in the car. Valve covers are back on. Time to swap out these old belts. We are dialed in, new belts, oil primed, everything looks really good on this. We've got good compression. This GT engine is ready to go back in the car.
Before we drop this 5.4 liter supercharged V8 into our Ford GT, we're installing all the main harnesses. Each harness is routed and secured to factory mounting points, which makes this a pretty simple process. Getting all these back into the appropriate locations is key to making sure this engine install goes smooth and fires right up. Next, we'll prep the engine and drop it in.
It is time to get the GT engine back in the engine bay of this beast. I cannot wait to see this thing in the engine bay. I've been waiting so long to drop this engine in. I also have no idea how to pick this up. There is zero information on how people are pulling these things in or out. I can't even find a picture of this car online with the engine out of it. So what I did is I got an axle strap on the back here. We're gonna lift it up by the rear mount, and I've strapped a ratchet around the blower. Hopefully that's gonna work. We're gonna find out right now. Let's go. Oh, it's staying pretty flat. That's freaking sick. Yeah, hell yeah. I was worried picking it up like this, the engine was gonna kind of do like one of these or like roll over the side, but it's staying pretty straight. So I think we're in good shape. Before we get this motor in, we need to install new mount arms on each side. The other ones were completely destroyed. So we've got our engine mount arms on. This thing is ready to go, and the problem is we can't have the lift arms in the way, so we've done this, which is lower the back half of the car on a jack to bring it down. We need to bring it up higher to get the arms under. But the thing is, the front of the GT engine is so wide because we got the dry sump, the power steering, we've got the alternator, the oil filter housing. It's really wide. It doesn't fit through this. So we need to get the entire, I'd say probably 60% of the long block over this, and then we can start coming down. So it's gonna be a blend of lowering the engine, raising the chassis, and making them come straight in. I don't know, this is probably gonna be the sketchiest engine drop-in we've ever done here, so hopefully we don't mess it up or scratch anything.
Just make sure we lock the carabiners.
I think we got it. The carabiners are locked.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Watch the motor mount, Ricky.
I'm watching.
You see the flat plate?
Yeah.
Yes.
Dang, I just gotta go forward. No, stop. Okay, go down more.
Yeah,
That's a long ways forward.
Yeah, we can go down like 2 inches right now. I think we're good.
Tilt it towards the driver's side more than it is to the passenger side. I'm like, my Mickey is like in the air. You're almost there.
Pretty close. Yeah, I'm
Okay, so let's do this. Let's set it on Mickey's mount.
right.
And then get Ricky's
But
mount.
watch the pulley, because the pulley's like
Okay.
smack against the.
Okay.
So we gotta be close.
So Ricky, tell me when it's almost about to touch.
I'm pushing towards Ricky's side. I think I just touched
Oh.
the.
Okay. Tell me when your gap is like this, Ricky.
Oh, shit,
and then
you
we'll
got a
push
lot.
and pull it, and then I can. What I'm trying to do is put the bolt in on that side. Then we can lift it up. It'll anchor it and allow us to get that side.
So
in
these
and
mounts are
drop it.
flat right now?
Yes.
Oh,
So we're a little quick in that.
The mount is flat and the engine chassis is flat, so they're gonna come together like this. Right now we're like this. That's why I can't get Mickey's bolt in.
I'm tracking now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, you can drop it on here. More.
How you there, Ricky?
That's
By the
that.
manifold?
So the engine is in, we have the 2 engine mounts bolted down, and we've got the car kind of back on the rack. Sean had a really good idea of putting a jack stand right here, so that's actually perfect. So now we're gonna put a jack under the transaxle, lift it up, and get the transmission mount on. The transmission mount on this car is really weird because it's that.
The world's largest transmission mount.
So it hangs from the top between the 2 shock towers and cradles it like this. It's not like a normal mount where it's underneath holding, it's literally hanging. So we gotta put this back in, figure out what this looks like, and then the engine will be officially in. The engine is in, completely bolted down and tight. Now we have a ton of work to do because we got to attach everything. We got to attach fluid lines for the dry sump, the engine cooling system, the supercharger cooling system, the air conditioning system, the power steering system, the oil cooling system, transmission cooling system, fuel system, vacuum system. We've got a ton of wiring to do. And as you can tell, I really don't have a lot of room to do this. So this is gonna be the most challenging part of the build for me, is getting this thing plumbed and fired. So let's get started. I've got almost all of the fluid lines completely done, so now it's time to start hanging reservoirs. We're gonna start on this corner, get our ECU in, get our coolant overflow tanks on, and then we're gonna tackle the dry sump tank. Coolant reservoirs and ECU are on, now it's time to move into the dry sump tank. Let's do it. All our fluid reservoirs are installed. Now it's time to add oil in case these boys try and start this thing. It's got oil in it, so let's fill it up.
Yay, oil!
Feeling good, dude? Look at this. We're almost there. We got
Am I
reservoirs,
feeling good?
everything's populated, cooling systems are completely done.
They haven't even seen the front yet.
No, they haven't.
All the work that's been done in the front,
Yeah.
we haven't filmed any of it. So the front was a spaghetti mess, which I was working on while Quinn was doing all this back here. We've got AC up there, we've got power steering, we've got battery.
Yeah.
Battery trays in, basically done up front. So we're close. There's a lot of things that still need to be done in the interior in order to get this thing fired, but we're gonna start cranking on that next. Now it's time to get our dashboard and all the electronics back into the interior of this car. This is integral to getting this car fired up. Without this, we can't start it. So this, as well as some of the electronics and the steering column, are about to go in. So let's get started. Before we throw our dash back in the Ford GT, we're gonna install our speed hut gauges. One of the things I was really nervous about when these came in was I was looking at these connectors and they didn't look OEM to me, and I was worried that we were gonna have to make some sort of sub harness to make them fit. But Speed Hut did all the work for us. These are actually factory plugs, and it plugs right into the stock location. All right, Gregos and I got a lot done. Man, we got the fuse panel in down here, starting to look like a car again. So now we've got everything plugged in electronically. That's going to allow us to start this car once the column goes in. Gregos is all stuffed under the dash over there, getting our throttle cable plugged in. Greg, is it working? Woo-wee! Go ahead, do that again. Oh man, that's awesome. So throttle cable runs all the way down here through the bulkhead, right there, up the tunnel, plugs in underneath, which really cool. This car is so neat because it is a transaxle car and everything's in the back. Everything runs forward, which is pretty cool. A little bit different than what we're used to. We even got the clutch, slave, and master stuff all hooked up and in place in here. We got the wiper motor in, ready to rock and roll. Man, it's starting to look like it's ready to start. So we gotta put our Optima battery in. We gotta hook up the AC lines and the heater core lines down here. Those are the final things that we need to do before we can drop the column in and plug the harness and hit the key, which is exciting. We're getting really close now. All right, we've got the steering wheel in place and hooked up to the rack. Looks pretty good in there. Our new gauge package looks amazing as well. Speed Hut, very happy with the logoing as well as the yellow tack in the center, which is really cool. So the ground cable on the 4GT was destroyed in the accident. It basically pulled one whole end off of it. So as you can see here, the terminal is missing. So we've got a new terminal, we've got some new 2-gauge wire, battery cable wire, and we're just gonna make our own negative cable so that we can put some power to this thing and hopefully get it started today. That might be a little high.
This is a real teamwork event here.
Yeah, you gotta have a team to build a negative.
You understand that there is a process to this. I just learned that we're only allowed to do so much a day for content for you folks.
The quota, you got to hit the quota.
Well, this is the quota for the day. This is the last line item that our boss Evan has allowed us to do today.
That's not true. You got to fire it up. That's the quota. Let's get this thing started.
It's only 1:30. I can't go home yet.
First time this thing's gonna see any power for 16 years.
18 years.
Hey, we have a key noise.
We have a key. Hold on, let's see.
Yay!
Hey, we did something right.
All right, so Mickey, you want to do the, look, we have an odometer reading of 87,774 miles.
Hold on. How many miles?
8,700. We were told 4,000.
And this is in our
I want a refund. I was told 2,500.
That's twice the mileage we were told it had on it. So in order to start this thing, now we have electrical power. We need to put some gas in the tank because I took all of the fuel out when we redid the Beachworks dual pumps. So the problem with that is we no longer have a fuel door because on the factory car it's right here. Ours terminates under here. We do have the factory filler neck that comes up to here and goes to our fuel cell in the center, but we haven't drilled the hole in the fender yet, so we have no way to put fuel in this at the moment. My fear of drilling the hole is only because we haven't done the final fitment on these fenders yet. You guys can see the gaps here and the temporary hardware. This is just for us to build the car basically with it in its location. It's gonna get final fitted, the gaps will get tightened up, so that's gonna mean that the hole that I drill for our fuel might be off center once we fix the gaps. So I gotta be very careful, drill a small hole, we'll open it up so we can get a fuel filler neck in there. Kind of called an audible here. Instead of drilling the hole now prematurely before the front fenders are actually gapped properly and potentially drill the hole in the wrong place, we're just gonna pull off the fuel filler rubber hose here, back it up, I hope. Yep. Get it off of there, and now we can stick a funnel in there and actually put some race fuel in there, which we just got our delivery of Sunoco 100 octane, so put 5 gallons in, see how she goes.
Key on 2. Let's see if the fuel pump turns on. That's the first step.
First step. And
All right, if anybody sees anything, please say the word to key off.
Yeah, look at those gauges.
Yeah, there's your gauge.
That looks sick. All right, so we are going to crank it, not start it. One thing that we just did is we pushed this inertia switch and reset it, and we're hoping that that is the reason why it didn't crank.
All right, we should hear a starter.
Nope, same thing.
Same thing. Hit it again. See if it resets again. It does. That's weird.
We've all been out here. We even got Rick out here trying to figure out why this thing won't crank over, and we're testing the relays. All the fuses are good. The relays are working. We got multimeters out. And Rick, what'd you just find?
Where was that at?
It was literally sitting.
There's no way.
No, it was up like this, and this.
The green and yellow wire that we've been looking for has literally just been unplugged, we think. So let's plug that in.
Hopefully this is it. We can put the relay back in.
Put the relay back in.
100% was it, because I think what happened was earlier I was trying to figure out where this plugged in, and I think this must have been under something, because I saw something like, this doesn't go, it must go to the, I thought it went to the hood release here. Yeah. Because I removed all that. But Greg just put that in here just to dummy it. Yeah, yeah. So it's not that. That's so funny. That's what I thought it was.
Your key off, right?
Yeah, our key's out.
Okay, so
plug her in.
Hopefully.
Right, let's wait for Greg here.
Yeah, I think he left. Hey, you're not gonna believe this. What? Look at your phone, or can't you? This was unplugged.
Look at the color of the wires. Is that the yellow with the green tracer?
Yeah.
It cranks over, right?
We haven't tried it yet. We figured you better be on with us.
So we're gonna crank it. Braden, you're gonna crank it.
Yep, got key in.
Put key on 2.
1, 2.
Okay, and then there's a push switch, so hold on a second.
There's the push.
How long are we on crank for? 3-4 seconds?
Yeah,
something like that?
Like 3, 2, 1.
Yeah! All right, so that's good. We got no spark plugs, but it is now cranking. All right.
All right, moment of truth. Now that we sorted out the starter issue, which was a silly mistake or oversight, which is, it happens. We are putting in the plugs. So fresh new set of Motorcraft plugs, and once these are in, we're gonna give it power again. See if we can't crank this thing over for our first start.
All right, we've got new spark plugs. We've got coil packs plugged in. Now the last thing, we had the fuel injectors all unplugged, so we're gonna go ahead and plug these in right now. All right, fuel injectors are in. We've got power, we've got a starter. We don't know if we have fuel yet.
So just fire it. If it starts, let it run for 4, 5, 6 seconds, and just key off, please.
Let's check for fuel
Got
pressure.
no fuel.
Yeah, I don't smell any gas. All right, so just a second ago, Mickey popped off the main fuel line right at the fuel rail, and there is fuel there now, which is awesome. So there's fuel pressure at the rail. We don't know if the injectors are working. We don't know if the coil packs are working, but we think that it's possible that it's just kind of priming the fuel system. So
also, keep in mind the fuel that's still, whatever is like left in the system, if that's a thing, is old fuel. So it won't ignite. It's not gonna spark it.
all right, here we go. Yep. Oh! Hold on a sec, hold on. Yeah, but I think maybe it's the cat too. It's shooting some shit up. All right, hold on, we are getting pretty close here. Mickey, it's also only one side that I'm seeing.
I think only one bank's firing?
Yeah, let me check the spark plugs. Hold this. All right, go ahead. Yeah, it's working. All right, go ahead. Yeah, we're good. Yeah, we got spark. That's a good sign. Whoa! Look at the cat! All right, so one other thing that we're gonna be checking that we've done on previous builds is sometimes the injectors kind of fall asleep, and even when you give them voltage, they don't click over. So I've got a battery here, and I'm going to test the 2 leads on the injectors, and it should click, basically indicating that the injector is going to fire. I'm not sure. Let me go grab Ricky.
Hey, take him. Here?
Yeah, here. For some reason, this one is not clicking. Time to wake him up, baby! Wake up! All right, what's this, round 2?
Round
Better
2.
setup?
Better setup.
He's dead?
Oh, she's dead.
Wake it up!
She's sleeping. She's taking a nap right now. Oh.
Oh!
Hey! It's alive,
It
baby.
works every time.
That one wasn't a deep slumber.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do every single injector because they all been napping for a while. We're gonna wake them all up because this is throttle time, baby! Throttle party!
Let's go! Ah! This thing is gonna fire right up once Ricky finishes.
Oh! Look at the difference.
Oh yeah, she's ready. Let's go! That's the
Hey,
keys!
baby! All 16!
Let's go! It is now the moment of truth. You got the keys, Mickey, you're doing the honors.
Yeah, we got fuel, we got injectors now.
We've got a custom exhaust system.
What is this?
Here we go!
3, 2, 1.
Yeah!
Let's go.
Oh,
18 years. Man, that's amazing.
The RB was cool, the Jay-Z was cool, the Freak was cool. This is insane. Like,
A lot of work to do, but man, that's a good sign.
now it's time to make this thing insane.